Welcome back. Millions of children in America will face homelessness this year. And with the economic fallout from the pandemic, that number may be rapidly rising. Covenant House, Michigan helps thousands of at-risk and homeless people. And this year's annual Candlelight Vigil and Sleep Out is happening, I do believe today. Here with more is Communications Director for Covenant House, Ida Benson. Good morning, Ida.
Good morning. How are you?
We are well. Thank you so much for asking. Let's talk a little bit about this event, this Candlelight Vigil. Before we get there, though, let's talk about the current state of homeless youth in Michigan. How prevalent of a problem are we talking about?
So at any given night, there are about 5,000 young people, 18 to 24, who are homeless in the state of Michigan. And nationwide, it's about 4.2 million. So it's a larger problem, and it's really a hidden problem because you don't see them like you see the adult homeless, on the street, in an alleyway. They're sleeping in places that are unsafe, like abandoned houses or, houses that are being built, or in parks. They don't want to be found. So you can't really see the homeless youth. That's why we call this hidden problem. But in any given night in the state of Michigan, 5,000 young people are without shelter.
That's amazing, 5,000 of them. And the pandemic, obviously, this had to have had an effect. Are people, like, we're sheltering at home, are they sheltering in shelter?
How can you shelter at home if you don't have a home?
Right.
So that's why we have seen a huge uptick in both Grand Rapids and Detroit of young people needing shelter. So, if they're in an unstable home situation and they're whoever they're living with says, we're choosing to stay here and you can either stay or leave, and it's unstable, there's drugs, there's trafficking, there's all sorts of things in that home, they are not going to want to stay there. So they end up going to unsafe places or crashing on a friend's couch. Even crashing on a friend's couch is considered being homeless because that's not a permanent place for you to stay.
And the Candlelight Vigil obviously addresses this. It used to be we would go out and we would actually sleep overnight, that sleep out, to kind of feel what they were feeling, how you're sleeping out in this cold and this homelessness. But this year with the pandemic, I'm sure things have changed. How can the public support this cause this year?
So absolutely. So our Youth Homelessness Candlelight Vigil is virtual tonight. You can we're going to be live on Facebook and on YouTube. You can go to our Facebook page at Covenant House, Michigan, or find us on YouTube, and it's 6 o'clock sharp. And it's about a 20-minute program. And we're really going to be highlighting what we're doing across the state. And then on a typical night, not during the pandemic, we would go right into our sleep out special event. And it is, we have people across the state of Michigan, in Grand Rapids and Detroit and in central, mid-Michigan, who are raising money to sleep out. They are actually, going to sleep out in places that are uncomfortable for them, on their back porch, in their backyard, and their kitchen floor, somewhere where it's not comfortable, because we're not trying to pretend we're homeless. We're trying to have empathy for those still on the streets. So you can actually go to sleepout.org and find our Michigan team. You can click on the mitten in on the leaderboard and find one of our Michigan teams and support us there. Or you can go to covenanthousemI.org and support the organization directly. So usually each site across the United States, across our Federation of Covenant House International, has their separate sleep out. But tonight we're all coming together as one. There's 1,400 people who are going to be on this virtual event tonight, who are going to be sharing their stories and just listening to stories of our youth and of our alumni and why people sleep out. So if you still want to sign, you can still sign up and raise money, sleepout.org, and sign up to Sleep Out for state of Michigan. And all the money's raised in the state of Michigan come back to our shelters in Grand Rapids and Detroit.
Absolutely ideal. Thank you for that information, Ida. Appreciate it. Get to that website, covenanthousemI.org. Take part. You still can. And it's all happening tonight, starting at 6. We'll be right back.